Eureka, Grade 2, Module 3, Lesson 19. Model and use language to tell about one more and one less, 10 more and 10 less, and 100 more and 100 less. Welcome back. I've been waiting for you. While I was waiting, I started thinking about all the numbers we've been talking about, and it really got me thinking. What happens to a number when we add one more or we take one away? What about 10 more? 100 more? 10 less? 100 less? Wow, the possibilities seem endless. Let's take a closer look. Let's model the number 150 on our place value chart using our place value discs. In the number 150, we have 100, 5 tens, and 0 ones. Here we've modeled 150. Now, I'm going to add another group of 10. What number do we have now? If you said 160, you are correct. By adding one more 10 place value disc to the number 150, we now have 160. We could say this in a very important sentence. 10 more than blank is blank. Let's plug in the numbers we're using. Let's say 150 in the first blank and 160 in the second blank. 10 more than 150 is 160. That's a true statement. This is fun. Let's try some more. I'm going to add another 10 place value disc. Watch closely. There it is. Now what do we have represented on our place value chart? 170. Let's use our statement to use the new number that we have and use it with our old 160. 10 more than 160 is, what's the number we have now? 170. Do you notice anything about these numbers? Anything at all? Maybe you noticed that they all have one group of 100. You may have noticed that none of these numbers have any additional ones. And you may have noticed that each time we add a tens place value disc, the number in the tens place value spot increases, gets bigger, or grows. We went from 5 tens to 6 tens to 7 tens each time we added a tens place value disc. Since we've noticed this pattern, we can make a prediction or a guess. What number do you think will come next if we add another 10 place value disc? Hopefully you thought of the number 180. Look at our pattern, remember? 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens. So 180 would be 8 tens, 180. Let's slide another 10 place value disc in and take a look. Were we correct? 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 180. I can say it this way. 10 more than 170 is 180. Since we had so much fun with tens, let's try this with ones. But we need to get up to the number 186. Right now we're at 180. Help me count to 186 as we add place value discs. Start at 180, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186. Now I'm going to add another one. Here it comes. How many do we have now? You got it. We have 187. Let's say this with our statement. 1 more than 186 is 187. Let's try adding another place value disc. What's the number represented on our place value chart now? If you said 188, you're correct. I have 100, 8 groups of 10, and I now have 8 ones. Using this sentence, 1 more than blank is blank, I can plug in 187 and 188. Listen closely. 1 more than 187 is 188. Do you notice something interesting about these numbers? You may have noticed that they all have one group of 100, and they all have 8 groups of 10. But the ones are changing each time we add a 1 place value disk. It increases or grows by 1, 6, 7, 8. So let's take a closer look. Over here, each time I added a 10's place value disk, the number grew by 10 more. In this column, each time I add a place value disk, the number grows by 1 more. Since this is so much fun, we should try 100 more. Right now we have 188. So let's write that at the top of our column. 188. 100, 8 tens, 8 ones. Let's add another place value disk with 100. There it is. What's our number now? If you said 288, you're correct. Can you already tell what place value spot is going to change each time we add one of these disks? Hundreds. We now have 288. Let's plug these numbers in this sentence. 100 more than 188 is 288. Let's add another place value disk. What number do we have now? 388. Remember, we're just dealing with adding groups of 100. Let's plug 288 and 388 into our sentence. I want you to read it with me. 100 more than 288 is 388. These numbers all have things in common. Each of these numbers has 8 ones. Each of these numbers has 8 tens. But each time we added a place value disk with the value of 100, the number in the 100's place value spot increased or grew bigger. 100, 200, 300. We're at 388. Now, I want to try something different. Rather than adding 100, I want there to be 100 less. So I'm going to take away 100. We're at 388. Look over here at the hundreds place value disks and watch one disappear. Gone. Well, what do I have now? That's right, 288. 100 less than 388 is 288. Now we're just going backwards from what we already did. We're taking the numbers away right now 100 at a time. Goodbye, 388. Let's try this again. Let's take away another 100 place value disk. Okay, we did have 288. Now we only have 188. We could say 100 less than 288 is 188. Goodbye, 288. Whew, this is fun. Let's try taking away some ones. We're at 188. Let's watch one of those ones go bye-bye. Now what do we have left? 187. We took away 1, so we could say 1 less than 188 is 187. Let's do this again. Watch this green 1 place value disc disappear. Ready? Gone. 1 less than 187 is 186. We now have 186. Let's try taking away some tens. We're at 186. Let's take away this 10 place value disc right here. What do we have left when we remove one of our 10 place value discs? We have 100, 7 tens, and 6 ones. So 10 less than 186 is 176. Now our numbers are decreasing in the tens place value spot. Let's take away another 10 place value disc. Remember, the numbers in the tens place value spot is decreasing. So we could say 10 less than 176 is 166. Goodbye, 176. Let's do this one more time. Let's take away this 10 place value disc. We would say 10 less than 166 is 156. We have 100, 5 tens, and 6 ones. We ended up with 156. One more than 124 is 125. Each time we add 1 to the ones place value spot, the number increases by the value of 1. 1 less than 124 is 123. We can also take away ones, and our number will be less by 1 place value disc. This is when we're working with ones. We can also do this with tens. 10 more than 124 is 134. Now we have 100, 3 tens, and 4 ones. 10 less than 124 is 114. 100, 110, 4 ones. Since we're working with tens, the digit that will be changing, either increasing when we add more or decreasing when we have less, is the digit in the tens place value spot. We can even do this with hundreds. Here's still our number, 124. 100 more would make the number 224. We can also make it 100 less by taking away that 100, and we would just have 24. When dealing with hundreds, the digit that will be changing is the one in the hundreds place value spot. You're going to get a chance to do this on Seesaw. You did great today juggling all these numbers, one more and one less. I want you to have a chance to practice. Head back to Seesaw where you can work on adding one more and taking away one to make one less, having 10 more or 10 less, even 100 more or 100 less back on Seesaw. Bye!